Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. It is, of course, January 18th, 2023, and today we have discovered that Hollywood is going to attempt the impossible, a Michael Jackson biopic, as well as a whole bunch of Rebel Moon news. I mean, there's a lot of other crap going on as well. We're going to be diving into all that here tonight, so get ready, folks. Tickle that like button. Hollywood After Dark begins right fucking now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Of course, it is another day, another episode of Hollywood After Dark, and today there's, oh boy, a lot to get to. I woke up this morning to some nice information about Rebel Moon. And then, of course, as the day goes on, we find out more about this Michael Jackson situation, which we will be talking about. But there is quite a bit of stuff to get to at the moment. But let me take a look at the chat to see how you guys are doing. To check in, we got Reed with a $5 super chat right off the bat. Thank you, buddy. Saying, why are people banning books at schools recently? Don't they know the internet exists? Still baffles me that this is still going on. So that is a way left field question to kick off the night for a movie about, or for a podcast about entertainment news. But you know what? It's a question. We can dive on in for a second. The concept of banning books at schools predominantly just boils down to people wanting to silence information, and they want to make sure that information doesn't corrupt a lot of kids. Like when I was in school, when I was in elementary school, they were going to bring the book in, Heather Has Two Mommies. That was a book that they wanted to introduce into the library of an elementary school. And I mean, this is outside of Portland, Oregon, super liberal Oregon. And a whole bunch of parents were just like, hold on, Ein Minuten bitte. What the fuck are you guys up to? Holy shit, why are you trying to indoctrinate our children with pro-lesbian propaganda? Like, that was like literally what they were complaining about at my elementary school. So fear is what is a big factor in all of this, Reed. Fear of information is a big factor. It's not that people out there, you know, that they're afraid of it corrupting. They're afraid, you know, there are probably school districts out there that banned Harry Potter when that came out. You know what I mean? All because a bunch of people who believed that a sky wizard grants you eternal life were really, really, really upset about a book about other wizards doing wizardy shit. You know, it's crazy. But the people who want to ban books about, like, you know, critical race theory, that, by the way, that doesn't happen, by the way. You know, or they want to ban Mouse and Mouse 2, graphic novels depicting the horrors of the Holocaust, because they just don't want to, you know, they're afraid of it's just so dumb. But that's a lot of what it is. That's a lot of what it boils down to. It's very stupid, very bad, very lame. And that is unfortunately, you know, society. H-Parts here with $2. Thanks, buddy. Says, I don't want you anymore. Bye, Haley. For those of you who don't know, RJ has taken over H-Parts' account for that particular super chat. RJ, our good friend, our buddy, our pal, Mr. Snorlax with the hard X RJ, has a bit of a fetish, right? He's got a bit of a fan fetish out there for one Haley Steinfeld. Loves Haley Steinfeld, would probably, like, you know, throw himself in front of a bus in order to try to get just a date or to sniff the bottom of her shoe. I don't know. But today he starts talking about Jenna Ortega. So H-Bars is coming in with a little bit of that light jab, a little bit of the upper body work. You know, you sit there and say, hey, buddy, what's going on? What's going on with Haley? Have you moved on to Jenna Ortega? So there's that context for you, as if any of you fucking care. There's that one. EE here says, less politics, more Rebel Moon. I mean, yeah, Rebel Moon in and of itself is a political movie, but in different ways, but we'll get to that there. Kicking off here, also Moisture for 5 bones. Thanks, Moisture. Says, you think James Gunn should announce his slate on Twitter? I feel he should host an event like DC Fandom or wait for Comic-Con. I think it's going to go to the trades, and then I think it's going to be talked about on Twitter. But I agree with you. I think they should do an announcement. They should absolutely come together and do something like the Disney investor call that has a presentation. It doesn't need to be a big presentation. You just need to showcase the slate. Have James Gunn and Peter Safran come out and give a very nice, impassioned speech about the future of the DC characters and how they're leaving behind the toys of the past to focus on a bright, shiny, future for the man of tomorrow, for the Gotham Knights, for Themyscira, whatever. Have their slate. And then have the whole thing end with a dick joke by Peacemaker. That'd be the piece de la resistance. You know what I'm saying, man? That's what it would be. But I agree. I think they should absolutely have something that takes place in a very specific event. You want it, like, if you're going to show us this in a way that's memorable. And but I don't know if they have even the budget for a fandom. They could do something really cheap. We'll have to wait and see what they got. Comic-Con's too far away, though. I'll tell you that right now. Comic-Con, too far and away. Ralph Stubble-Tits here asks, did you see the D&D movie is now getting boycotted? I haven't. Why? Why? Is it more of the satanic panic? I have no idea. Garrick here with the $5 super. You guys are really unrelated tonight, but it's great. Who has the better beard? Eric July, the Quartering, or Nerdrotic? Okay. I'm just gonna say Jeremy the Quartering right off the bat. I'm just gonna give you that one there. But like Eric July's beard like frightens me. It literally frightens me. Like you can't see his teeth half the time. So like it just looks like a gaping maw spouting nonsense. And Nerdrotic just looks like his beard contains all the meth he smoked back when he was a dealer. That's all. So I'm gonna go with the Quartering. He might be Midwestern. He might be fat. He might be sweaty, but you know what though? It's that hardcore Germanic. He's a tall bitch. All right, he's a huge bitch. Is the best way to describe it. He's huge guy, tall guy, very like, Swedish, German, Slavic in nature, right? Very, very. It's a lot of the European types in the Midwest right there. So he's got that stock. So he's got the ability to kind of come in like a werewolf. The other guys just look creepy. There we go. There you go on that one. Thank you, buddy. All right. Darth Scipio here says, the Nazis burned the Bible during the book burning period. Yeah, I know. It sucks when the worst person has a good point. Oh, no, I don't support burning the Bible. I don't support burning books in general. I may not like the Bible. It's glorified fan fiction, but no, it shouldn't be burned. I don't. I just immediately thought of the meme of the guy, like when the worst person makes a good point. But yeah, the Nazis burned a lot of books. That's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, we're going to get to the Michael Jackson biopic here in a little bit, Music Man, but we're just kind of people kicking off supers right off the bat. H-Bart's here. All right, you know what? I'm going to hold on to this one with the Michael Jackson one. We'll go check this one out. All right. Okay. So you guys are dropping some Michael Jackson super chats there. There we go. Well, I just want to keep it contained. Keep it contained. Let's see here. Do I know anything about the OGL drama that's been going on I don't know what OGL is. You have to fill me in, Kuntz. I don't know what that is. That's going to be a thing there. Also, Moisture for 5 bones. Thank you. Says, if Warner Brothers sells their music division, it wouldn't be the first time Time Warner sold Warner Music Group in 2004, which is why Warner Music Group is in a separate entity to Warner Brothers. Oh, I didn't know that. It wouldn't be surprising. And they just need to make money. That's where they are. They just need to make money. If they don't make money, they can't make movies. And like, well, what can we get rid of? I know, music. Because who's making money on streaming right now? Like, I don't know. Is anyone making money on Spotify and shit like that? Fuck if I know, man. Fuck if I know. It's crazy shit, you guys. Crazy shit. Okay. Let's see. All right. Hasbro bought Wizard of the Coast, which owns D&D, and they're making massive shit. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, that's what it is? You guys are talking about the fucking Wizards of the Coast licensing agreements and stuff for D&D. Yeah, that they've already backpedaled on because of the fan outrage. So that's why I didn't really dive on that right away. I don't play D&D. I think I did read about that particular situation, and I thought that it was ridiculous. That's an actual time when fan outrage is actually needed. like that kind of shit. And they backed off. So good for them on doing that. All right, command unit here. All right, we'll take a look at that epic 40K Final Liberation. The worst acted scene. All right, that's great. So, okay, cool. Boycotting never works. No. Boycotting can work. It just has to be over the right thing. So, general boycotting over like, you don't like this shit. It's pretty stupid. Zachary asking, did you hear the news / rumor that Jason Momoa may be jumping ship from DC to Marvel? I mean, dude, that shit. Like, I made a joke today about Chris Pratt playing Hal Jordan. And James Gunn, and this was completely unrelated to the fact that James Gunn had said that it's likely that some of his Marvel friends will be making the jump over to DC. And I don't know. These are jobs for these people. So we're going to have to wait and see what they do. We have no idea what's going to happen yet. We'll have to see. Andrew here. This is an interesting one. Have you seen the drama around Steven Crowder putting the Daily Wire on blast for allegedly trying to control him for big tech? The Daily Wire CEO responded with the video going through the contract. I don't know. I thought Steven Crowder was with the Blaze, not with Daily Wire, because Steven Crowder is based out of Austin, which is really funny that a hardcore conservative lives in the bluest part of the state. That's kind of weird. Don't you think? A little crazy. It's a little suspicious. And Daily Wire is now based out of Tennessee, so I literally have no idea what's going on there. A lot of stuff going on. Crowder left the Blaze. I don't follow Steven Crowder. He sucks ass. So, let's see. Zachary here says, why in the ever-loving fuck can I see Chris Pratt playing Hal Jordan now? Yeah, I mean, you could, man. You absolutely could. He could do it. It would work out. HWAD's here with the $10 super boner. Thank you, buddy. Mario Warfare 3. Yeah, if you could DM me that on Twitter, that'd be great. I'll find that. There we go. Did he move to Dallas? He was in Austin. I thought he was in Austin. Who fucking cares about Steven Crowder? I don't care about Steven Crowder, guys. I really don't care about Steven Crowder. Look, man, the best thing Steven Crowder ever did was voice like that one character on Arthur. But I'll tell you this, though, as soon as Steven Crowder comes out as gay, it's going to be really, really, really funny. And if you don't think that's going to happen, eventually that's going to happen. Steven Crowder is, he has a lot of deep-rooted elements of his closet he's got to figure out. Moisture for 2 bones, thank you, asking, do you like Joe Biden? I tolerate Joe Biden. He's not the president I want, obviously. Mine is Bernie Sanders. I've been open about that. I've always been open about that. But I think we're actually in an okay place with Biden. I think he's doing as best as he can. Could he do more? 100%. Is he a bit of like a too much of an optimist at times? 100%. But it's still better than the alternative. Look at the craziness that just went down with the House. It's crazy. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for that one. Let's see. Asking, is Chris Rock more bankable, is Chris Pratt more bankable than The Rock? Yes. Chris Pratt has got multiple movies that have crossed $1 billion that he was the direct star of. All right. Well, okay. Ensemble. We'll go ensemble. Ensemble. Okay. We'll do that because, Jurassic World, the Guardians movies, Avengers movies and stuff. Those clearly are ensembles, but he's a big part of that. So yes, he's way more bankable than The Rock. The Rock might be able to demand more up front, but no, flat out Chris Pratt, way more of that. Where is the Prisoners stream? So what he's referring to, thank you for that, CJH, by the way. So I did drop the newest episode of Podio Commentary today. And I'm going to drop the link for that in the chat right now for YouTube. It is available anywhere you get your podcasts. iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, anywhere you get it. I sat down. This is what I watched last night. So I watched Prisoners last night before going to bed. And fuck me, that movie is good. That movie is good. to the point of where, like, Hugh Jackman, why did he not win awards for how well of a performance he put into this film? Paul Dano, I mean, like, Terrence Howard did a great job. Melissa Leo did a great job. Viola Davis did a great job. It's such a good fucking movie. Check it out. Jake Gyllenhaal, great job. Denis Villeneuve, I'm saying his name right now, too, by the way. Fantastic job. Watch it. It's up over there on Podio Commentary. And then next week is The Mist. Is absolutely The Mist. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a very fun one to cover there. But anyway, Command Unit here for $2. Thank you, sis. This cross-dressing habit is definitely a clue. Yeah, Steven Crowder loves to cross-dress. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that Steven Crowder loves a cross-dress. But I mean, it's like really weird. E asking, am I a Vaushite? No. Vaush doesn't live far from me, actually. I think he's like about 30 minutes away from where I live. 30, 40 minutes away. He's not far from me at all. I'd like the chance to meet him, but I don't know. I don't watch his content very often. I find him a bit rash, a bit brash, a bit brazen, and sometimes a little bit too egotistical. And I'm an egotistical person. I'm a narcissist myself. So, you know, if it pushes me the wrong way, there you go. Ralph Stibble Tits here says, Jarbo wants Trump. Don't lie. You personally gave him the presidency in 2016. For those people who catch us on the replay or don't know what that is, I'll explain it down the road. But yeah, there's a book out there that says that I got Trump elected. And it was funny because I actually told that story tonight to a woman over at Panda Express as I was waiting for an order. H. Bart's here for 2. Thank you. Says Trump only won because everybody hated Hillary. I mean, people underestimated Trump as a big factor, but yeah, that's another thing. That is another factor there. Yeah. Thank you for that. Hey, what's going on? Shiny. You're under a new account. Okay, there we go. I was like, yeah, you're under a different account, man. What the hell? I said the movie was 2 hours, right? Prisoners is 2.5 hours long. And it could easily be longer. It's that compelling. Like, if it was like a movie that they were like 3.5 hours long, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Right? And then I'd start it and I'd be like, 3.5 hours is not enough. Go on. Do more. Give me more. I want it. Okay. We got Command Unit here for 2. Thank you. Says Trump won because he had hype behind him. There was hype with that, but it also was a lot of like the outsider, and it really tied in, I think, to the concept of like, what if someone that was like a third party candidate actually got support because he was an outsider. You know, there's that. So anyway, Zachary asking, who the hell is Steven Crowder? Look him up, man. I don't want to go into who Crowder is. He's a commentator. He thinks he's funny. He's not funny. He likes to cross-dress and like target trans people for some reason. And Muslims. He really doesn't like Muslims. So yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit, to be fair. He's a pretty big piece of shit, actually. So thank you for that one. And Moisture for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, Jarbo, Phase 4 was fine. You're all overreacting. Also, Jarbo, I'm not watching Eternals or Miss Marvel. No, Moisture. No, that doesn't work that way. Okay, I haven't watched them ... yet. I intend on watching both Eternals and Miss Marvel before Ant-Man 3 comes out next month. Okay? All right, so I can be caught up then. So I can make sure that I'm caught up on all these shows and in the movies, and then I'm 100% good. Okay? It's not that I do think Phase 4 was fine. I think, even though I haven't seen the movie or the show, I think it was perfectly fine. Shang-Chi was great. Fucking Loki was dynamite, god tier even. You know, WandaVision was fucking dope, dude. What If was great. Black Widow was good. Fucking Doctor Strange too. People like to give it shit. I watched it again recently. The movie fucking slaps hard. Thor: Love and Thunder was definitely a bit of a disappointment. Spider-Man: No Way Home was a movie that I think literally unzipped the pants of so many millions of nerds out there and gave them that type of blowjob they've been waiting for their whole life. It provided it. No, Phase 4 was absolutely fine. I even liked She-Hulk. I thought it was irreverent and it was funny. People got all butthurt because I don't know why. Shit was fucking funny. And you know what? My boy Matt Murdock popped in and he got to clap some cheeks. All right. And if you've ever seen the Netflix show, it's been nothing but drama for years. Matt Murdock ain't going to get no love. Matt Murdock ain't going to get no play. Every time he gets close to a woman, it always ends up going to shit. He comes over to She-Hulk. He's in LA for one day, ends up nailing She-Hulk. Like I said, clapping them cheeks. You know what? Give my boy a win. Give my boy a win. By the way, guys, I have been awake since 5:30 this morning. Again, I'm so fucking tired. So it's going to be very interesting. All right, H-Bar's here for 2. Thank you. Says Eternals is a masterpiece. I mean, look, to be fair, he's been saying this since he saw the movie, and he was bitching about it beforehand. And H-Bars has even admitted that he was wrong about Avatar. He was like, I was an Avatar hater, man, but then like I fucking listened to Jarbo talk about it for so much, and he went to go see it, 1 and 2, and he loved them both. So there we go. There you go. All right, multiverse of movies here. Isaac says Jarbo time traveled and helped Hitler rise to. Oh, don't put that out into the world, man. Don't put that out into the world. Garrick here says, but Critical Drinker says Phase 4 sucked. Yeah, Critical Drinker also is a moron. Like, all these guys, man, are just like, they're just morons. Like, we really as a society have got to stop rewarding stupidity. You know, like, for some reason, these people, like these chuds that like to dive into things that they have cognitive dissonance on, they think it makes people smart. Like, if you don't have a real argument, you're like, you know, right, and I was watching She-Hulk and fucking like Jennifer Walters head, like, she twerked a little bit, mate. I don't like that one bit. Why is she twerking? Why isn't she lawyering? You know, why is she fucking shaking her booty in an office so everyone can see her? God damn, she was just complaining about being fucking sexualized, and now she's out here twerking. I mean, never mind personal agency and having the ability to make that choice yourself and things. It's just like the show. It's like, come on, we're arguing. Like, you're getting me to argue feminist theory. All right, if your argument is so shitty, you're getting me to argue in favor of feminist theory. We've got a problem. All right. Look at my old content. I was one of the bigger anti-feminists on YouTube, and now you got me out here. Actually, I've changed quite a bit. I'm looking at it way more different though. But these guys are fucking just stupid. There's other words I want to say. All right. There's other words I want to say. There's a lot of other words I want to use, but I don't want to get in trouble again. Okay. I don't want to get in trouble again. All right. H-Bar's here for 5. Thank you. Says Thor Love and Thunder is the only MCU movie that made me want to stop watching the MCU. Dude, it's not, there's good parts to Thor Love and Thunder, but yes, it did drop the ball in a number of ways. That is very true. It did. Unfortunately too. Unfortunately. It was okay. Rational here says, why don't you sue the book publisher for defamation? Because she didn't mention me by name. She mentioned me by avatar. So, you know, I can't really do much about that. Shut the fuck up, H-Bards. Hitler used the blue skull. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, man. Music Manager says, damn, since 5 a.m. 5:30, but I went to bed like at 2. So I'm just exhausted. So I'm a little bit wackier tonight because how tired I am. I drank an energy drink and had a couple burritos from Taco Bell thinking that popped me up, man. And it's like not working. So we'll figure it out. We'll go from there. Let's see. The Cockney accent ain't drinker. I know it's not for drinker. Okay. I know it's not for drinker, but I can make the Cockney accent funnier. And it reminds me of Savage Bat. So there we go. I could do what I want to do, man. I could do it. And you guys can also smack the like because we got 88 people watching. Thank you. Moisture for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, how do you feel that the Sony Marvel, or how do you feel about the Sony Marvel movies? I think they're an abomination that need to be eradicated. So what you want to do is you want to know, like, I want to know what your final solution would be then for the Sony Marvel movies. I will say this. Their spin-off movies, they have some charm to them that they ain't great. All right. Like, there's charm. I genuinely like Venom. I do. I genuinely like Venom. It's not a good movie, but I genuinely like it. Venom Let There Be Carnage has some good moments in it, but it just, I don't even know. I can't even it's hard to talk about Venom Let There Be Carnage because it's just not it just doesn't. I have no desire to watch it again, but I would watch the first Venom again. And then Morbius is a movie. People like to shit on Morbius. I think Morbius is like, I kind of like Morbius. Okay. Yeah, the memes are there. It's Morbin time, yada, yada, yada. But I kind of genuinely like what they tried to do with the movie. I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. The end credit shit was bad. The end credit shit was really bad. But like, other than that, I had fun. I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. So, let's see. She-Hulk twerking killed Bradley. Oh, that's right. Schwartz, it did. There was a guy, he was a commentator, his name Bradley, kind of hung around in this little circle of people, and the She-Hulk twerking broke him. Like, it literally broke him. It was the funniest shit. So, just freaking lost his crap. EE here says, you should go on the Geeks and Gamers panel and debate. Anyone here want to fill EE in about what happened the last time I debated Jeremy? It didn't go well for Jeremy. Let's just say that one there. All right. Command Unit here says, the Russians made the only good superhero film outside the West I know of, Major Grom Plague Doctor. Shameless plug because it's a really good movie. He talks about this one a lot. And the trailer, go watch the trailer after the stream, of course. Major Grom Plague Doctor. Go watch the trailer. Actually looks pretty good. I need to watch it. But yes, it's really good. It looks fun. It looks like a lot of fun. So thank you for that, Command Unit here. All right, Garrick here for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, the problem is that Sony's Marvel movies feel outdated. They feel like those bad, edgy superhero movies like Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and Blade Trinity. See, but here's I like all three of those. That's the thing. I agree with you. They're kind of out of place in time. Both Morbius and Black Adam felt like they should have been made in the mid-2000s. I completely agree with that sentiment. But I love Mark Steven Johnson's Daredevil from 2003. Also, Mark Steven Johnson's Ghost Rider from 2007. Same director, by the way. And I know Blade Trinity ain't the best thing on the planet, but I think Goyer did a pretty decent job with it. And you know what? I like Blade Trinity. I'm just saying. So, I can live in that world. I'm fine with that. I kind of want to go back and watch those movies again. Blesinger says, I just took a melatonin. I'm waiting for it to kick in. Well, hopefully I make you laugh and it doesn't work. Let's see here. Jay Sanzi here says, Jenna Ortega has a bod. I will admit that. Where's RJ? RJ's got, RJ's trying to become an adult. So he's got school. And I agree. I like Jenna Ortega. I think she's very attractive, but that's where I keep it at. That's where it's at. Let's see here. Isaac here says, I accidentally created the Hitler Charbo theory. We'll have to wait and see. Jesus Christ, you guys. You fuckers are in a mood there. Nerdy Mastermind here says that Daredevil Director's Cut is a legitimately good movie. I agree. Again, the only thing I do not like, and maybe I just need to go back and watch it again, but the only thing I didn't care for with the Daredevil Director's Cut was the Coolio storyline. I just didn't really care for that. So I need to watch it. H. Bart's here says Stallone's Samaritan was great. Benson would actually agree with you. He hit me up when that movie came out and he told me it was really good. When I saw The Whale the other day, they ran a little sizzle reel for Amazon and showed a bunch of the Amazon stuff there. And I saw Samaritan. I watched a trailer for it recently. I need to sit down and actually watch it. So there's that. James here says, thank God Jarbo's in the minority when it comes to Phase 4. I don't know what that means. I'm usually in the minority on a lot of this kind of shit. EE here says, I never thought Affleck's Daredevil was bad because it wasn't. Michael Clark Duncan was awesome as Kingpin. Okay. Michael Clark, well, you guys, like when they announced that Michael Clark Duncan was going to be playing Kingpin back in like 01, or maybe early 02 or somewhere in there, there was like questions of like, but he's black and like Kingpin's white. Like, what the fuck's going on? But then the next follow-up was, but he's menacing. He's a big dude. All right. He could pull it off. 20 years ago, man. Because by the way, next month is 20 years since 2003's Daredevil. You want to feel fucking old? All right. That movie came out before I could legally drink. That's wild. But anyway, I'm just saying it's like fucking that movie back then, like they race swapped the villain and like no one gave a shit. It was not an issue. But then now for some reason, all of this like fucking like, puritanical bullshit of like, I gotta protect my childhood from the commies. It's fucking weird. Tony asking, have I seen Elektra? Yeah, I saw Elektra. We had it at the drive-in. Why they did that movie, man, and did not even have fucking... Oh, Elektra. Oh, Elektra. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, I know the stories, Tails. I know the stories about Wesley Snipes staying in his trailer all day smoking weed during the filming of Blade Trinity. No, I know. Oh, I know. I know all the stories. I'm just saying it's like, I think it's better than the sum of its parts is all I'm trying to say. Peter Abbas Defender, thank you. Blade Trinity was so much fun back in 2004. Goddamn right it was. Goddamn right it was. It was great. Let's see. Daredevil says, read my comment on a squirrel. I missed that comment, I think. Can you repost it? I might have missed it real quick. Sorry. So yeah, repost the comment because I didn't see it. So just do that. It's easier. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck, H-Bar? It's asking here, will Nolan actually bomb Japan again for real? Oh, no. Come on, buddy. No, you can't. No, you can't do that. That doesn't work. Nolan's not going to bomb Japan. He's just going to go out to the desert and remake Nagasaki. You know, he's just going to do a model of Nagasaki and Hiroshima and then drop the low yield atomic bomb on there. But I will say this though, the one thing I'm looking forward to with Oppenheimer is I'm hoping people finally make the differentiation between atomic and nuclear. Because I think we need to have that conversation. I know it's a very weird conversation to have, but I think we need to. Darth Scipio here says Duncan's Kingpin was a whip. I disagree, but it's good to have alternate takes. Garrick says, who's hotter, Jennifer Garner in Daredevil, Eva Mendes in Ghost Rider, or Jessica Biel in Blade 3? I'm going Jessica Biel in Blade 3. I am. Eva Mendes was great in Ghost Rider. Jennifer Garner as Elektra was like, I've never, like, I think she's attractive, but I've never been like, you know, hubba, how over her or nothing like that. I just, yeah. But no, I think like Eva Mendes is very attractive and she was very good in Ghost Rider. But Jessica Biel, man, it's Jessica Biel, dude. Come on, man. Calvin here says, I'm honestly surprised no one cares Kang is black because they already established it, right? They established it in the Loki show. And so because that was good and well received, no one's going to care. You know what I mean? Like if you just establish it and it's done in a way that's like not drawing attention to it, you know, where it's like, it's not like they were like, you know, there was no articles that were all Jonathan Majors is playing the first major or the first major black villain in Marvel history, you know, because it's the media that like really runs with these headlines. And that's the bigger problem, is that the media runs with these headlines. And so when that happens, it ends up really skewing the conversation. So there's that. All right. But thank you for that one there. Moisture for $10, dude. Thank you so much. Says no one cared when Sam Jackson played Nick Fury, Zendaya playing MJ, or Idris Elba playing Heimdall. No one cares about race swapping if the actors are good. Okay. So I think you're right and you're wrong on a couple of things there. So let me just kind of explain. For one, Sam Jackson as Nick Fury was already predated by the Ultimate Avengers animation. The two animated movies, the comic books, they had really, they had already swapped Nick Fury for Sam Jackson's lookalike years prior. And then they got Sam Jackson to actually play him. Now, I love the old Nick Fury, and I thought the David Hasselhoff made for TV movie was fun. You know, as a cigar chomping, you know, Nick Fury. I always enjoyed that. But no, Sam Jackson had already been established as being the design, as the inspiration for that version of Nick Fury. And then Zendaya playing MJ, they held that back. They held that back all the way through the end of the movie. So you'd already gotten the connection of her. All right. Like everyone was all like, oh, MJ's Michelle Jones. She's not playing Mary Jane. She's playing Michelle Jones. It's not Mary Jane Watson. And then at the end of the movie, when she goes, oh, my friends call me MJ. When I saw the movie, when I saw the early screening of the preview night screening of Spider-Man Homecoming, when that happened, my audience groaned and groaned loudly because it was handled so poorly. Zendaya was great in the role, and the character of Michelle was a lot of fun. And I think they did a good job really expanding the role 2 years later in Far From Home and establishing that connection between the two of them. And then by the time we got to the third movie, she was part of the team. Her and Ned, part of the team. They had done a lot in the marketing to put all three of them together with their chemistry to really solidify those friendships. And that sold itself to the audience. Idris Elba playing Hemdall, I don't think anyone really cared at the time. I mean, it's Idris Elba. That motherfucker can do no wrong, in my opinion. So, like, I love Idris Elba. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, but I agree that if it's good casting, no one's going to care as much. But I also think that if the media, like, you got to go back to Ghostbusters 2016 for this one. And I'm not trying to beat that dead horse. But what I mean by that is you have to go back and look at how the media treated that movie. And then how the studio got on board, the director got on board, the stars got on board. Everyone was in lockstep to criticize anyone who was not fully on board with this movie as being a misogynistic troll. That is something that actually happened. And so as long as that doesn't happen again, and the actors are able to just do their part, I think it's going to be a little bit different. But that's where you have the culture war. It does go both ways, right? It absolutely goes both ways. The media comes out and they try to defend a position poorly, I might add, but they defend it to hell and back regardless. And then what that does is it mounts the opposition against them. The opposition, it's like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. But the thing is like the media is the immovable object. And the fucking fandom or whatever, the critics are like, that's the unstoppable force. And they collide and they collide and they collide. And then over time, it just becomes this big fucking thing. But if you really go and look at how this stuff plays out, that's how a lot of it does, right? That's really how a lot of it goes. Look at this Hogwarts Legacy shit. Same thing. All right. Same thing. It's the same bullshit. They're just fighting all over that stuff. But all right. Okay. Music Mania says, yeah, that was dumb. I get the thing. But still, Michelle as a standalone character is great. But as Mary Jane, it's a no. I agree. And it sucks that they didn't do Mary Jane. I get that. But I'm okay with this. I'm okay because I felt that their chemistry was fantastic. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. Now, EE here says, I just want more Toby versus Spidey. Why is Hollywood so ageist? It's not that Hollywood is ageist. They offered Tobey Maguire $50 million for Spider-Man 4 and 5. He turned it down. So go talk to him. Go talk to fucking Tobey Maguire about that shit. All right. Let's see here. Jess here makes a great point. Fantastic point. Rage culture sells. Hate watching sells for studio. I mean, hate watching only goes so far, though. All right. It only goes so far. Not as much as you might think. But yeah, you have a good point there. You have a good point. Spherical Mania says Holtzman and Hemsworth characters were the only shining light from Ghostbusters 2016. Yep, I agree. In fact, even Paul Feig, the director of the movie, he even highlighted that when he had said, when the movie came out on home video and people were asking for a sequel, he goes, hey, look, Holtzman fans, Kate McKinnon fans, go buy the movie. We can do more. And if you go and you look at what IDW did for their follow-up comic book to the movie, they actually sent Holtzman back into to Ghostbusters Prime timeline through the containment unit, but it opened a portal. And so she learned how to be a Ghostbuster there. That's what I'm talking about, right? Is like, so they automatically knew that Holtzman was a standout character and they wanted to build that up. Chris Hemsworth, I think, was fantastic. And as I keep pointing out, the reason why we have a funny Thor is because of that movie. And I Thor. So to me, Thor Ragnarok, I love it. And I actually thank Ghostbusters for it. So there you go. There you go. All right. Yes, Zachary, we really did get off topic for 40 minutes. That's how it goes. Everyone started throwing up freaking super chats right away. So there's so it just happens. All right. Moisture says here, is Taika Waititi still directing a Star Wars movie? As far as I know, things have changed on that front. So like, let me, so we'll touch upon that real quick. By the way, I just had the advert for my podcast up the like last 20 minutes. Podio commentary. It's a really good episode of the show. Go watch Prisoners, by the way. Anyway, the thing is like, so Kathleen Kennedy has this tendency, as we know, of hiring these hot directors that have big movies that are coming out. And then when those movies kind of bomb or not do as well, they get kind of pulled back off, right? So now we're hearing that like Sean Levy is in talks to direct a Star Wars movie, maybe before or right after doing Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 is still months away from filming. It's months away from filming. But Sean Levy is in talks right now. And those talks have probably accelerated pretty well. If you look at Sean Levy's work recently, obviously, you know, there is the Night at the Museum movies, which they just did the animated film that he executive produced over on Disney Plus, which was cute. I watched it. It wasn't anything great, but it was cute. There's obviously Free Guy for 20th Century Fox, but then 20th Century Studios, which did really well during a pandemic. He also did The Atom Project with Ryan Reynolds, which is one I've watched multiple times now, and I just fucking love that goddamn movie. And then now he's going on to go do also Deadpool 3. But let's also look at the fact that he directed a number of episodes out of Stranger Things Volume 4, especially Episode 4, Running Up That Hill, which is just a phenomenal episode. So in regards to like him tackling Star Wars, he has proven himself in a multitude of genres to be able to tell things that have heart, action, intensity, that are able to be very effects driven, that are able to convey a good story, a good plot, and get good performances out of everything. And yes, Peter Abbott's Defender, I totally forgot, brings up Real Steel. Fantastic movie. All right. Blessing here says, Atom Project did make me cry a bit. It's really good. I loved Atom Project, right? Spherical Man asking, will I be doing extensive Deadpool 3 coverage, or will I barely pay attention to the news to avoid being spoiled? I'm going to do the latter. I'm going to like cover, I'm kind of at a point where I don't want to cover like a lot. Like, you know, I know like, Hugh Jackman was talking with Stephen Colbert and like talking about like getting ripped and getting jacked for being in the movie and shit. And I'm like, look, that's cool. I know about it, but I just, there's a lot of other things to talk about. I have other things I want to bring up here tonight that we haven't gotten to yet, but there's a lot of shit there with that stuff. But yeah, I want to dive in. All right, let me just catch up here. So Command Unit for 10. Thank you, buddy. Oh, pardon. Burping. Something weird about the whole Cavill WCU thing is that the right-wing culture warriors have been very accommodating, even suggesting race swaps to appease the left to keep Henry Cavill in charge. That's a claim. Now, I will fully admit I haven't followed any of that stuff, really. I didn't know there's been any movement on that, but I'm also not tapped in to the Warhammer culture. You are my conduit into that world, by the way. Like everything you talk about generally is my exposure to it. I've watched a couple other videos here and there on YouTube, but it's very tangential. It's very surface level stuff. So if right-wing culture warriors are all about race swapping to appease the left to keep Henry Cavill in charge, that's such a weird take. That's a very weird take. But I'm not going to lie when I say that it's also fiercely fascinating. If like they are so desperate to have their side, their fandom get the kind of mainstream recognition it's been denied, never mind being as popular as it is, and they're willing to actually like sacrifice. I'm using the term like as a way they would be using it, not that I think that way. But if like they want to sacrifice particular characters to race swap them in order to keep the left from bitching and moaning about the very like pro-fascist ideology contained within Warhammer and how it might be, things, I can get all that shit. But then to keep Henry in charge, that to me is very interesting. That is very interesting. Send me more about that on Discord. I want to read up on that. Send me more, DM me that on Discord because I really want to know more about that stuff. But okay, you guys, man, you guys got great questions tonight. Holy shit, you guys are awesome here. This is why you guys are the best, man. You guys are the best. I'll have a plan, but you guys come on in and just start fucking dropping it. Wandy, I gotta just point this out. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty doesn't get enough love, man. Hands down, my favorite movie of 2013. Like above Man of Steel, above Pacific Rim, above Her. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, hands down, my favorite film of 2013. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Tony asking, Sean Levy, is it the son of Eugene? No. Daredevil says, I want him to direct the Mandalorian episode. You know, if he directed a Mandalorian episode first or a Star Wars episode first, I like everyone wants Bryce Dallas Howard to be able to direct the Star Wars movie because of the work she's done on Mandalorian. And I agree with that. So we'll have to wait and see how that thing plays out. But hopefully he'll do something along those lines. Moisture for 5, thank you, says Kevin Feige, next president of Lucasfilm, Victoria Alonso and Lou D'Esposito, new heads of Marvel Studios. I know you're kind of kidding on that, but I've kind of seen, I kind of agree with you on that. And I think I've made jokes about that before. Now, I don't necessarily think that Feige will take over Lucasfilm. So let me explain what I think might happen with that. What I think might go down is that they might split it off, very similar to how DC Studios is now its own vertical, right? So if you separate like Star Wars from Lucasfilm, because Lucasfilm, you know, does oversee ILM and well, I don't know if that's its own thing, but they might separate Lucasfilm and Star Wars and make Star Wars its own thing that's headed up by Kevin Feige, slightly like under Marvel Studios, but still somewhat adjacent. And then, you know, yeah, I could see Victoria Alonso and Lou D'Esposito becoming the heads of the studio. I mean, there's some reports now that say that Victoria Alonso is the new kingmaker over there at Marvel, you know, and so we're gonna have to wait and see. Kevin Feige, I mean, the guy can at this point do whatever he wants, but that's, yeah, very, very fascinating there. Ryan for 5, thank you, buddy. Says, so about that Michael Jackson biopic. Yeah, we're gonna get to that here in a second, buddy. We're gonna get to that here in a second. I just let me just bring that up there. Because there's one more super chat here. How about the Power Rangers news? I didn't even get to that. I know Amy Jo Johnson dipped out, man. There's so much. I'll have to get to that tomorrow. I will. I will watch the video. Send it to me on Discord, Jess. Just send it to me on Discord. Let's do that way. Yeah. But no, here's the thing. Get Star Wars. Exactly. Star Wars Studios. Get rid of Lucasfilm. No. But have it be Star Wars Studios. HWAD here says Willow came and went. Now, here's the thing with that. And I know I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch it. I haven't even watched Bad Batch yet. Like, I'm behind. I know that Devin over on Max's stream was like calling Willow trash. All right. But you know what? Here's the thing with that. No one may be talking about Willow because I do feel that the culture warriors have outright destroyed people's desires to have specific conversations about specific shows, because they just don't want to deal with the bullshit, right? I really think that. But look at Andor on Disney Plus. Andor had almost no one talking about it, right? And we were even asking here, why aren't people talking about fucking Andor? What's going on? Andor's so good. Andor's so great. Okay. And then like, as it went along, people started talking about it a little bit more. But when they released the end of the year numbers for Disney Plus, and we see that Andor was like the number 5 or number 6 most watched original show on Disney Plus, right above the Book of Boba fucking Fett, and Kenobi wasn't even on there. I mean, now it's possible that the fact that Andor and Boba Fett had more episodes than Kenobi. Andor was literally double the length and better the story. But Andor still was one of the most watched shows on Disney Plus in all of 2022. And it came out in September of the year. So what does that tell you about how YouTube and social media actually influence what people watch on a grander scale? Not much, because it actually tells you a lot. It tells you that it's not as impactful as you might think. You know, we might be considered like influencers to an extent, but we really never dive into it there. Tony asking, am I ever going to review Boba Fett and Kenobi? I might do that over on Podio commentary. I might just do audio. I mean, the Prisoners episode that I dropped today is just audio. It's just, here's the thing with that, guys. Like, I've mentioned this before. I bring it up pretty frequently. I suffer from OCD, right? I suffer from OCD. And so when I start thinking about content, I get really into the content and I start planning the content and trying to build the content. But then I can't keep up with the content that I want to do. And I always put YouTube first on that front rather than just getting the content out there. Like, one of the reasons why I'm not on camera as often is not because I don't want to be on camera. I have no problem with that. I don't have an issue with that. A lot of it is I don't want to have to worry about the other stuff because I can't focus on it, because I get hyper focused. If there's a problem, I'm hyper focused on it until I can fix it. All right. Like, that's my issue. So if I'm just audio and I keep it simple, like, cause even right now I'm sitting in the room, all I have on are those blue fairy lights behind me. It's just a dark room, but I can focus on just my voice, what I'm saying, what you guys are saying, without the need of extra lights, of extra sensory, distractions and things like that. So there, I'm just saying that's why, you know what I mean? So if I do that, I wouldn't mind doing that. There's a lot there to discuss, but I might just be audio only, which people give me shit for on YouTube. And I feel bad because it's a visual platform. It's just, it sucks, guys. It sucks because I don't want to be like Andy Signor and be like, hey guys, let me try to, crowdfund like 4,000 for a new setup or whatever. Even though my own computer is definitely in need of repair, but it's like, I don't want to do that. And then suffer my fucking, my own problems and then like not want to be on camera. You know what I mean? It's just, it's shitty. John here says the curse of perfectionism is it prevents you from getting the job done. Allowing good is enough is something that needs to finish the project. Yeah, dude, even my fucking therapist said that. Like, my therapist asked me, this is true. My therapist, we're talking about OCD and she's like, so you play video games? And I said, yeah. She's like, do you finish video games? And I'm like, it gets very difficult for me to finish a video game, like a long open world video game. And she's like, why? I'm like, because I get caught up on all like finishing everything else before the main story. So she just goes, finish the main story. Just finish the story, finish the game. And I'm playing The Witcher 3 right now. And I find myself like forcing myself to get to the main story. The main story is amazing. It's super good. But like, I'm drawn into these little side quests and it just kicks in. So there we go. At least you have no reason to send your orgasms to other people. There's only one person I'd want to send my orgasm to, and she's asleep in the other room. So yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, man. Also, do I think people slept on Andor? Yes, I do. But I think people picked up on Andor right before, during the prison break stuff. That's when I think it started kicking off. Anyway, Roman, hey, what's up, man? Oh, I got your message on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you sent it. I got that today. Thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for that. So, all right, guys, let's talk about Michael Jackson. We're only an hour into the show. We'll talk about Michael Jackson. We'll go through a couple quick things here tonight. But according to Collider, Michael Jackson biopic is being helmed by Anton Fuqua, and it is being put together by the Bohemian Rhapsody producer. And it's going to begin production later on this year. Let me just start off by saying, fuck, shit, fuck. All right. Because like, here's the thing, man. Like, Michael Jackson as a biopic, for one, it should be a TV show. It should be a fucking like limited series, 7-8 episodes, dive into the nitty gritty of it. You're not going to be able to tell the intricacies of Michael Jackson's life in 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's just not going to be a thing. All right. Anton Fuqua I love Anton Fuqua as a director. So, I mean, like, that I think is in good hands. But at the same time, it's just like, is he the right director for the job? That's a question. That's a big question there. I mentioned this earlier on Max's stream. I think F. Gary Gray, with his work on Straight Outta Compton, oh, right, there's that. Thank you. And a couple MJ super chats that also, thank you very much. H-Warts for telling me. Yeah. So you guys remind me, you guys are great. Thank you. So, all right, here. There's what we know here. Okay, so the turbulent life story of the King of Pop is coming to the big screen courtesy of director Anton Fuqua. Michael, they're just calling it Michael. Not to be confused with the mid-90s John Travolta movie where he played Michael the Archangel, who fell to earth, I guess. But Michael, the long-in-the-works biopic of Michael Jackson, will begin production this year at Lionsgate. Coming after the success of the Queen biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody, producer Graham King will produce Michael, which promises to depict every aspect of Jackson's troubled life, which ended prematurely at age 50 in 2009. Here's the fucking thing with this, man. Here's the thing. It promises to depict every aspect of his troubled life. You know what? Look, yeah. Did Michael Jackson, was there issues with that shit? All right, with his fucking life? Yeah, there was. Okay. All right. Absolutely. There's problems in his life. Okay. Is there shit there that you could bring up? Sure. 100%. Why the fuck focus on like every aspect of his fucking troubled ass life? The dude died at the age of 50. All right. Like fucking almost 14 years ago. He should be 64. He should be fucking alive. All right. He should be alive, still making music. He should be here. He should still be here. Whitney Houston should still be here. You know? Fucking goddamn Freddie Mercury should still be here. All these fucking people should still be here. And yet it's like one of those things where I just can't help but feel like if they're starting this thing off fucking tabloid, right? If they're starting this thing off like a tabloid and they're like, we're going to promise you every dirty aspect of his troubled life. Pound fucking sand. Pound fucking sand. I don't agree with this. I'm sorry. Like, look, Michael Jackson music is like my go-to happy music. All right. Like, I love Michael Jackson music. I understand you got to separate the art from the artist. He had a troubled childhood. He didn't even fucking have a childhood. He was a fucking product by his dad. All right. Like, he grew up in the music scene. Lots of shit went down. There's lots of stuff there to tell. But at the end of it, dude, he died at the age of 50, like riddled on fucking pills given to him by a quack ass doctor who was ultimately like charged and I think convicted in that specific situation. All right. Like, I agree with Relegate here. I'd rather celebrate his music than to go in. Yeah, rationally, I agree. No need to dive into the drama. All right. Roman, great fucking question. Where do you find a black actor who looks, acts, sings, and dances like Michael Jackson? You know, I mean, like, that's going to be the hardest thing. And whoever ends up taking on the role of the King of Pop is going to, like, it's just, no actor should fucking do it. I just think it's fucking crazy. You know, I just think it's crazy. Have I ever seen any of the biopics? If so, I try not to watch a lot of biopics, man. You know, I prefer documentaries over biopics. Biopics oftentimes have a lot of dramatized shit. You know what I mean? Like, they have a lot of dramatized shit. And I understand why they do that. I get that. But I don't feel it's a fair representation. So I don't really watch a lot of that stuff. You know? It's like, you know, yeah, Tails is right here. Michael Jackson was the biggest star on the fucking planet. All right. It's just, if they want to, I don't like that right away. I don't know who wrote this article. Rob London. I mean, if this is what they're promising to depict this already right here makes me not want to see it. Yeah, it just automatically makes me not want to watch it. Going on here, it says capturing Jackson's story within the confines of a feature film will be a tall order. He became a child sensation with his brothers in the Jackson 5 before achieving enormous solo success as an adult, becoming the first black superstar of the MTV era. His album Thriller remains the best-selling album of all time with over 70 million copies sold, which is, again, because Thriller is a fucking amazing album. However, behind those triumphs was a childhood of abuse at the hands of his father, and an adulthood dogged by health crises, 2 tabloid fodder marriages, persistent accusations of pedophilia. Fuqua says he's up for the task, saying, "For me, there's no artist with the power, charisma, and the sheer musical genius of Michael Jackson. I was influenced to make music videos by watching his work. The first black artist to play in heavy rotation on MTV. His music and those images are part of my worldview, and the chance to tell his story on the screen alongside his music was irresistible. Now, look, here's the thing. Anton Fuqua directed the Gangster's Paradise video, which is a good video and shit. And then, of course, his first movie was The Replacement Killers with Chow Yun-fat. That was a fun one. Of course, he did Training Day, which is a fucking excellent movie. Magnificent Seven, the 3 Equalizer films. He did also Olympus Has Fallen. Shooter was a fun one. Tears of the Sun was a good one. I do need to see Emancipation, though. I do want to watch that there. And then Infinite was on Paramount Plus. That one was apparently pretty good. Okay. So here's the thing. You've got Oscar nominee John Logan, who wrote Gladiator, Aviator, Skyfall, will pen the screenplay. So he's written some good stuff there. All right. The movie will be produced by Graham King and the co-executors of the Michael Jackson estate, who aren't fucking his family. And so I'm looking at this thing like, all right. And see, this is where we're going to run into problems. I think we need to be really fair about this. All right. I think we really, really, really need to be fair about this. There's a lot like if Anton Fuqua is coming on into this to tell an authentic story, I would not be surprised if we find out that Anton Fuqua eventually leaves the project before production finishes. Just over creative differences. Because if you're already going into this and you're telling people we're going to touch upon every dirty aspect of his life, what the fuck are you? A goddamn biopic or fucking Lifetime? Are you you trying to tell a story or are you trying to be a fucking tabloid? Is this a hit piece or is this something meant to celebrate a life? You're fucking with fire is the way I see it. You're absolutely fucking with fire. And I don't want to I mean, it just depends. I trust Anton Fuqua. I think he's a good director, but like he normally does action movies. This is not his usual foray. So that's going to be a little different. We'll have to wait and see. Ryan here for 2. Thank you. Or for 5 says there was also a Jackson 5 biopic series that came out in the early 90s. Oh, I didn't know about that. I mean, that's good. That's good. People can see it that way, but it's just still fucking nuts, dude. Would I ever watch a biopic on Chris Farley? I would. I probably would. Reed here for 5. Thank you. Says this is like trying to make a 2-hour Beatles movie with all the history that can never happen. I mean, dude, didn't Get Back. That was the Peter Jackson produced documentary, but that was like 3 parts, right? That was long. Yeah. You can't really touch upon it without severely cutting into a lot of stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway. Yeah, I'm getting to that H parts. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get to that one right now. Let me just get a couple supers here right off the bat. All right. H parts. This is what he asked in the beginning of the stream. Who would play Michael Jackson? Would they have to hire 2 different actors or one to play both black and white MJ? It would be the same actor, who would just don whiteface. Literally would just don whiteface. And that might also be controversial as well. Where do you end the movie? Do you end with his death? Or do you end with his some accomplishment? Like with the release of the Black and White album, which I think was like almost one of the last times that he had like kind of universal success, because his stuff later on was like, it was okay. It was okay, but it wasn't like, the Black and White album was pretty good. Like I had it, when I was a kid and stuff. I really liked it. I don't know what they're going to do with that, man. I have no idea. But Garrick here for 5 also, thank you. Says, did you know how many directors worked with Michael Jackson? John Landis did Thriller, Martin Scorsese with Bad, and Francis Ford Coppola with Captain EO. I didn't know about Scorsese with Bad. I knew about Coppola and John Landis. And that's crazy, dude. I mean, that just goes to show you that like he was able to get some really good talent to back him up, which is great stuff. It's good stuff there. So I'm excited. I like the guy was a fucking musical genius. God damn it. Just a goddamn musical fucking genius. You gotta love him. You gotta love Michael Jackson. All right. And then Shogun here for 5. Thank you. Says, yeah, they cleaned up the Freddie Mercury's life a lot. Supposedly said the same thing here. I don't think they're going to do the same thing here. I think people are going to want to know the details. What was Neverland Ranch like? Did he actually touch that kid? What about Macaulay Culkin? Did he ever touch Macaulay Culkin? I mean, like, that's going to come up too, probably. I don't know. I'm just not fucking happy. It's like one of those things, man. You know, it's just like, I don't know what his kids are saying about this. They're probably not going to be involved. You know, I just think it's weird that they announced this a couple days after Lisa Marie Presley's passing. It just feels like they're trying. I mean, I don't know if there's a mention of her in the article here, but it kind of feels like it kind of feels like they're kind of banking off of that. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what it feels like to me, is they're banking off of Lisa Marie Presley's death to do that. Bad is 22 minutes long. Wesley Snipes first. I've never seen the 22-minute long version of that. I need to watch that. That's crazy. Roman here says Thriller is amazing. The song is genius. Oh, dude, yeah. No, I love Thriller. I think I would argue Thriller is my favorite Michael Jackson song. I mean, and there's a lot of Michael Jackson songs that I love, but Thriller is just Thriller. Like, Thriller, Smooth Criminal, Billie Jean. I love Billie Jean. You know, The Way You Make Me Feel. It's just so many good tracks. Are they going to talk about, like, when Michael Jackson bought all the Beatles music? Are they going to talk about how Sony music fucked over Michael Jackson? Or, like, I mean, like, there's so much they can talk up on there. Moisture for 2, thank you, buddy. Says Johnny Depp as Michael Jackson. He's done brown face before. Oh no. Anthony asking, do I think Chris Tucker will make a cameo? I mean, obviously the thing is, I learned this from Max's stream. Apparently Chris Tucker is good friends with, was like BFF with Michael Jackson. I didn't know that. And I hope so, man. I want Chris Tucker to be in a lot of things. I miss Chris Tucker. I love Chris Tucker, man. You know what's funny, Daredevil? You mentioned the Smooth Criminal song, like, way back. Remember when Alien Ant Farm covered Smooth Criminal and it blew up? Like, a buddy of mine were asked, like, we were laughing because we figured out that a lot of kids were going to end up, like, falling, like, we're going to end up thinking that Alien Ant Farm did Smooth Criminal, and their cover is good. Like, their cover of Smooth Criminal is really fucking solid, but it's just, it doesn't compare to the original, but a lot of kids are going to think that's the thing. Can they deep fake Michael Jackson? That's an interesting question. Rational. Could they deep fake him? I mean, the technology is getting closer. You can find someone who can do the moves. I mean, but you got to find an actor who can fucking moonwalk. Because if they don't have the moonwalk in this movie, that was a cultural thing. You know, that still gets, like, memed to this day. It gets appreciated. I don't want to say memed in a negative way. All right. I don't want to say memed in a negative way. It gets appreciated quite a bit. So I don't know if they're going to do that, but that's crazy if they try. Ryan here, thank you, buddy, for 5. It says Stan Winston also directed Michael Jackson's Ghosts, and even Jackson played the fat mayor in that short. Really? That's crazy. I didn't know that. I did not know that, man. That's some fun stuff right there. I want to go, but his music videos are all great. His music videos are awesome. Bubbles the monkey. Yeah. Bubbles. Come on, Bubbles. Let's see. Rational here says Michael Jackson did some of the Sonic 3 music. There's something about that specific rumor that it's either exaggerated or it's not like 100%. I don't remember what it is. If anyone knows what it is, let me know. H Bart's here says Matt Jarbo is Michael Jackson. MJ equal MJ. Goddamn right, motherfucker. You know, like, the way you make me feel. I can't do it. I can't hit the note. You know, you really turn me on. I can't do it. You knock me off of my feet now. My lonely days are. I can't. Yeah. Man, I love Michael Jackson, dude. Like when there was like the like, like there was a time when the shit was going down with Michael Jackson, you know, and like I just was listening to it, and I remember like I was in my car and I was in LA and I was listening to it and I was all like, I'm like, are people gonna like look at me bad? I started to question if I should listen to Michael fucking Jackson. You know what I mean? I started to question if I should listen to Michael Jackson because like of the implications, like that he's been accused of some shit. I don't believe he ever did. I'm sorry, I've never believed it. And stuff like that. And it's just like, it's so weird. Like this again, like the social implications of polite society. It's a weird fucking thing. That's right. Yeah. He was pulled. They pulled that episode of The Simpsons. One of the best episodes, you know? So there's that. Anyway. All right. So we got Benson here for 10, man. Thank you so much, Benson. Says this was announced by the estate last year. It's the press who have grabbed it. This movie is a chance for the truth. Stan Winston directed the 40 minutes ghost film, Colin Chilvers' Moonwalker. Okay. I mean, look, I agree with you that this movie is a chance for the truth. Okay. I know the press has grabbed it. I understand the media manipulation. I do get that. I hope that they are trying to tell the truth, or they're trying to tell a story that is grounded by reality of a person who is probably one of the greatest musicians of all time, one of the greatest entertainers of all time, a true prodigy in that particular way, and had a troubled life. And like, just show us that, humanize the character. I agree. I didn't know that this was announced last year. I didn't hear about it. Thought I would have heard about it, but I didn't. But anyway, but like I said on the thing, it's going to be the impossible. This whole thing's going to be the impossible. So it's going to be crazy. Also, we got Reed for $10, man. Thank you. It says, if I ever get to choose a biopic, it would be Phil Ochs, a folk artist who did protest songs in the 60s, who had a kind of crazy history, but had some good music. Interesting guy. Also, maybe John Denver. Well, to quote Dumb and Dumber, that John Denver is full of shit. No, I'm kidding. Here's the thing with that. If you want to tell this guy, like, you're working on your video, your documentary about your, Route 66, right? Why not just start compiling stuff about this Phil Ochs guy? Like, start working on an outline of like a documentary you could do for YouTube, or a video essay you could do for YouTube. You start, put it out there a little bit. I don't know anything about this guy. I'd watch, if you made a video about this guy, I'd check it out. I mean, it's an interesting story. If he did a lot of protest songs in the 60s and had a crazy life story, that's fucking cool. So something there worth checking out. Let's see here. Benson said his Simpsons episode is the only one banned on Disney Plus. He also sang and wrote Do the Bartman. He wrote Do the Bartman? Whoa. Wow, man. Dude, I had that. Like, The Simpsons Sing the Blues is such a good fucking album. It's just a good fucking album. I didn't know that he wrote Do the Bartman. It's like, hey, everybody, if you can, do the Bartman. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, if you can. Whoa, man. Dude, oh my God, I had the tape of it. I remember when they aired the music video on TV. I had the fucking Bartman t-shirt when I was a kid. I found the CD of it a long time. I have no idea where it's at, but I think it was at Walmart, and I found it for like $5 or whatever on CD. I got that motherfucker up, dude. Love. I did not know he did that, man. That's great. That's great. Moisture here says, I feel weird listening to R. Kelly music now. No, I get that, dude. I get that. And you know what, man? Like, R. Kelly music, I think that's different because, like, that shit was ongoing for a long time. That, like, people kind of looked the other way on and shit. And he got found guilty and went to jail. Like Jackson was never actually convicted, right? I think there was a civil suit, a civil trial. But, like, he was never convicted. So, it's a little bit different. But I get what you mean, man. I get what you mean. you know. Not to mention that Leaving Neverland documentary was debunked. Yeah, I never watched that pile of shit. Never watched that pile of shit. So many op-eds which came out after that one. I never bothered to watch it. It sounded bad. Right? Oh, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is Michael Jackson's best track to you. Dude, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is fucking fantastic, man. Religus here says, but the actor who plays MJ, if they pull it off right, Oscar material. Yeah, if he pulls it off right, not even Oscar material, Oscar winner, hands down. Hands down. So, okay, if I ever want an expert to tell you what happened, let me know. The facts are incredible. Did you know that the first kid's dad wrote Robin Hood, Men in Tights, asked Michael Jackson to pay for a four-movie deal? The first kid's dad. Who's the first kid? I don't know. Yeah, if you ever want to come on, talk about it, you know, that's something we could talk about. You know, we'll have to maybe set a time for it. Let's see here. Benson here says, I had tickets for 10 This Is It shows. Wow. That's crazy. I agree with Ryan here. The removal of the Simpsons episode is a knee-jerk reaction. Completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Put it back. Can we petition them? All right. Moisture here says, what is the deal? Hold on. Let me do that in the voice of Seinfeld. What's the deal with biopics all of a sudden? I've been noticing this trend for a few years now. Every studio seems to be in on them. Well, so Bohemian Rhapsody, outside of the controversy of Bryan Singer directing it, right, had the fortune, if you will, of winning Rami Malek best fucking actor. I think it won best editor as well, which is wild, but okay. And I think it did like $900 million worldwide. So yeah, they want to like capitalize on this shit. It's why they did Elvis. You know, it's I'm not a big Baz Luhrmann fan, to be fair. So like, I never really cared for his stuff. So I'm like, Elvis is not one that I've really been drawn to, but I do like the story of Elvis. You just had the new Whitney Houston one. So You Want to Dance with Somebody, which, you know, like I've heard good things about, but like, again, it came out at a wrong time. It didn't really have the marketing budget. I mean, So You Want to Dance with Somebody, like, dude, fucking Whitney Houston is massive. Massive. So having that come out and just kind of get dumped, like, sucks, you know, because like, fucking, who doesn't love Whitney Houston, man? Like, you know, it's stuff. Michael Jackson should sue them for defamation. He's dead. He's dead. Kind of hard. Rational here says, why do the tabloids like to defame Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury? Because it sells. They make money off of misery. It's the same reason why we criticize the Chuds, because they make money off of misery. That's how they go. Zachary here asking, speaking of deepfakes, do you think that's the best choice to go for Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye in future Marvel movies? No, they're just going to sideline him for a while. He's already back home. He'll be fine. HWAD here says, so far the worst biopic I've seen was Blonde. I can't believe Hollywood thought that was good. I think the thing with Blonde is that like they kind of like set out to say that it wasn't necessarily like that it wasn't necessarily a biopic as much as it was like a fictional, like they were trying to distance themselves from that shit. So I don't know. I didn't watch it. I wanted to watch it. And then I saw people talking about it. And I watched some clips and I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to watch this. Ryan here asking, which Michael Jackson song do you think is underrated? You know what, man, like top of my head right now, because I've been awake since 5:30, I'm a little bit tired. So diving into that one right now, like I'm cracking a freaking, sparkling water. So don't worry about that. But I don't know. It's hard to think about. I love his music, so I'd have to really think about that one, but I will say, I think one of his greatest contributions is the whole thing with Another One Bites the Dust. that apparently, from what I had heard, and I'm sure Benson will either confirm or deny this, is that Freddie Mercury had shown it to Michael, and Michael, like, as a scratch track or something, and Michael told him to put him on the album and whatnot. So that's, if that story is true, that's a good story here. Roman brings up Dirty Diana. Ah, dude, fucking Dirty Diana is great. Dirty Diana is great. Such a good song. Speed Demon, I remember that one. Man in the Mirror is fantastic. So Weird Al. I don't know what Weird Al has to say about that, but I do love me some Weird Al. If you haven't seen the Weird Al story, or Weird, the Al Yankovic story on fucking Roku, you need to watch it. It's in no way historically accurate, but it's really, really good. It's really good. Daniel Radcliffe just won a Critics' Choice Award or something, So, let's see here. R. Kelly marries a 15-year-old and goes to prison. Elvis does the same thing and becomes a megastar. I mean, different times. Are you thinking of Jerry? Wasn't it like Jerry Lewis, right? Married his cousin. That was always a weird scene in that movie, Great Balls of Fire, when like Dennis Quaid and like really young Winona Ryder are like, they're going to have sex. I saw that movie when it came out and I went, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. Awandi here says Ezra Miller as Michael Jackson. Yo, no, come on, man. We can't do that. We can't be making those kind of jokes. Although maybe we could get it trending on Twitter. That'd be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny here. Moisture says, is there an artist that hasn't received a biopic yet? That I would like to see. Let's see here. Like, there's a lot. Trying to think of who I'd like to see have a biopic of. That's a tough one. I think it'd be kind of cool to, like, this is going to sound kind of weird. I think it'd be kind of cool to see, oh, dude, fucking Humpty Hump, man. Because he died like a couple years ago. Like, just to talk about what life was like for him, like back in the fucking, back in the day, like, the MTV era and stuff. I loved Humpty Hump. It's your chance to do the hump to hump, do my baby, or do the hump to hump, do the hump to hump. But there's definitely that one there. There's some good stuff. There's always things out there. The James Brown biopic was good. Who played James Brown? Kurt Cobain. That'd be a tough one. I think what's blocking the Kurt Cobain biopic is Courtney Love. They don't want to look into Courtney Love having been involved in his death. Not to say that that's what happened, but like my particular take on it is that she knows more than she is letting on. That's my take on it right there. But that's just me. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So, all right. Let's see here. Ryan says his favorite underrated MJ songs are Ben, The Girl Is Mine, PYT, Dirty Dame. I mean, dude, Pretty Young Thing is a great fucking song. The Girl Is Mine is a great song. Ben, I'd have to hear it again right now to hear it. Oh, Chadwick played James Brown? Wow, I didn't know that. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, man. Like, I love James Brown. James Brown popping up in Blues Brothers was so great. Aretha Franklin and Blues Brothers was great. Blues Brothers is fucking fantastic, man. So there's definitely that. So, all right. Here's the thing. Okay. A Prince biopic, dude, like, you're just like, his estate would not let that happen. I don't think his estate would let that happen. I wonder if the Michael Jackson biopic is going to end with his death and the fact that Farrah Fawcett died first. And then, Michael Jackson's death, like, took it out. All right. Let's see. H Bars here says Jarbo, the story of the Blue Skull, starring Josh Gad, directed by Michael Bay. Fuck you. I will be playing myself. Thank you very much. I don't need no Josh Gad to play my ass. All right. Anyway. Yeah, wow. Okay, so there's still the last thing because I got to keep it. Well, it's still stuff. We have some stuff to watch. So why don't we dive into what really everyone else is talking about today? There's some other stuff I wanted to bring up. I'll save for tomorrow. We've had very interesting conversation, but Rebel Moon now has a release date of December 22nd, and they gave us that information today in a cool little sizzle reel, the Netflix Save the Date sizzle reel that popped up earlier today, giving us a rundown of what to expect in 2023. And guys, there's a lot here. There is a lot coming out in 2023 on Netflix that really, I think is going to be pretty good. But here, we're going to take a look at this and see the little Rebel Moon teaser.
This is truly delightful.
Oh, yeah. I'm coming for you. All right, guys, we got work to do.
So do you hang out in the hood all the time, or do you just come up here for our food and women?
Where's our waiter?
You and I tell each other everything, right?
Always.
This is my case.
I've got to make this right.
Your reputations precedes you.
There you go.
Well, thank you.
That's nice to hear.
Not in a positive way, I'm afraid.
Oh, not? Okay.
Okay.
And whatever I need to be to keep her safe.
Yeah.
I'm coming out of retirement.
I told you long ago on the road, I got what they waiting for.
We have no idea what they're capable of. But life is full of surprises.
What are we left of?
I got what they waiting for. You was never really rooting for me anyway.
I can take you out of here.
When I'm back up at the top, I wanna hear you say,
Don't improvise. Trust no one.
break is over. When I'm back up at the top, I wanna hear you say, Mother of Godzilla!
Who said that?
And this one is for the
Something is happening, and I don't trust them.
There it is.
For all that you love, show them no mercy. That was serious.
So there's actually like a fair amount of stuff that's dropping down on this year, right? I mean, like that looked pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. A lot of good things coming out this year on Netflix. And I feel like what I'm hoping is that on the action side of things, we don't get any more Red Notices and we don't get any more The Gray Men. I enjoyed those movies for what they were. Okay. I feel like The Gray Man, like it was a bit too self-indulgent and the Russos really needed to kind of like scale it back. But then you get something like Extraction that was written by and produced by the Russos, directed by Sam Hargrave. And that movie is fucking wicked, dude. I love Extraction. Such a good fucking movie. Extraction 2 is going to be good. I want to see more Tyler Rake. Heart of Stone is obviously Gal Gadot in a spy franchise sort of thing. You got David Fincher's The Killer starring Michael Fassbender. I mean, Fincher, dude. Fucking Fincher. We're not getting any more Mindhunter, but we're getting something like that. That's going to be pretty decent there. You've got The Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown. That's a little bit weird to me because like there's a shot they put out where she's like holding a sword. It's clearly CG. Okay. Whatever. A lot of good, crazy stuff coming down the pipeline. But let's take a look here at the Rebel Moon thing, because obviously that's what everyone's at. Zachary says he never saw Extraction. Motherfucker, get on Netflix, watch Extraction, and then check out my Podio commentary on Extraction, because that's over on the channel as well. It's an older episode, so it's a bit different format. But dude, Extraction is good. HWAD, can you please tell Zachary how good Extraction is? We have Rational here for 5. Thank you. Says, hypnotical speaking, or are you saying like hypothetically speaking? If Rebel Moon sweeps the Oscars, what would the discourse on Twitter be like? Would Tatiana Siegel do a Rolling Stones Pebble article on it? So here's, okay. So there are things to talk about in regards to Rebel Moon. All right. There are things to talk about here. So to give us, I think, a good idea of stuff is this is the Rebel Moon or Rebel Moon updates Twitter. And look, I'm not a big fan of like stan Twitter, but I got to give props where props is due. These accounts, these guys really, really, really follow this stuff because it is the #1 source for updates on Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon franchise. So I follow this account. So when I want to get more information on it, I can just check it out. So, they got Sophia Botella here. Here, I have to kind of laugh about this. All right. This kind of cracks me up. The synopsis, right? The synopsis for Rebel Moon is like a young girl, like a young woman, right? And I'm like, oh, a young woman. Okay, cool. And then she's younger than me by like 4 months. Sophia Botella turned 40 while filming these movies back to back. So again, no shade. Thought that was kind of funny. Just thought that was kind of interesting there. What we got here is, you've got Zach promoting it a little bit there. You got Junkie XL promoting it, which means Junkie XL is clearly going to be doing the score, which is great. Can't wait for that one. Charlie Hunnam as the Rebel Moon Green Arrow. And there's a lot of talk about that today. A lot of talk going on about that stuff. People all excited about what to expect here. Find some screenshots or whatever. Here's just the 9 seconds they gave us.
For all that you love, show them no mercy. For all that you love, show them no mercy.
So just 9 seconds, not a lot, but it's enough to kind of give you an idea. Now, I gotta say, if I can find that shot here, I really, really, really like this shot right here. I do. I saw some people criticizing it. I saw some people fucking talking a lot of shit about it, saying it just looks generic. I mean, like, dude, it's a fucking sci-fi movie. What the fuck do you want? Jesus Christ. It's a Star Wars knockoff sci-fi film. What the fuck do you want? But I feel like we're going to get a lot. The visuals on this are going to be pretty good. It looks like Zach is scaling back a little bit from using the dream lens that he did in Army of the Dead. So I'm hoping that the scale is not as intimate as they did with Army of the Dead. And it becomes something a bit more grander, like a bit more epic, a bit more, larger in scope. So I think that's going to be interesting to see. But also looking at some of the pictures here, clearly Sophia Botella. And this was something that Zach actually, I think, put out himself too. He put this one out there today. We got this shot, Charlie Hunnam, and then whatever's going on here. But it does look like, you've got the indigenous population fighting a whole bunch of the Balisorius guys, whatever they're called. And it's more of a Western theme. And again, this is, this fucking Star Wars is a bit of a space Western, right? But to go back to Rational's question here, if Rebel Moon sweeps the Oscars, okay. So let's talk about that for a second. Netflix wants Oscar recognition, but they're not going to push it with a movie like this. Not maybe outside of a technical side of things, okay? And even then, on the technical side, they might have a shot if they want to run it, because it costs money to run these movies for this particular thing, right? For the awards, they gotta run, they gotta pay for it. It's a pay to play thing. So what I'm thinking is going to happen here is, again, going back a couple years now, Army of the Dead was the very first movie Netflix put in theaters that had whatever it's called with it, right? The deal with Cinemark, and it did well enough to get Cinemark to enter into an agreement with Netflix to screen their movies. Knives Out did 15 million in 1 week, 1 weekend. Glass Onion did. And Netflix was like, use that as a springboard to bring a lot of people over to Netflix. Rebel Moon will definitely be in theaters. I don't know for how long, and I don't know to what extent. But I don't think the movie's going to sweep the Oscars. If Oscars decide that they want to do another fan favorite thing for next year, then yeah, obviously the fans are going to push it. And Zach better have some cool shit in there. But I don't think Tatiana Siegel's going to run for it, because there's no, the Snyder cut's dead. The Snyder movement is dead at this point. When you start moving over to, hey, we need to come over here and, fucking whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know. Sorry. Train of thought kind of went away for a second there. I am starting to run out of steam. That is true. H parts over $2 says, will Ray Fisher kill an alien called Hamada? Yeah, kind of. I think so. Benson here says it's being described as Sucker Punch in space. Very concerning. Who's calling? No, nothing about this is Sucker Punch in space. It's not Sucker Punch in space. All right. Like, there's that. JP here says the worst part is Zach is his own cinematographer. AOD was a nightmare to watch, out of focus every second. It was that dream lens. Like, he overused the dream lens. He's using a different camera and lens this time. Still kind of in the same, like, camera model, I guess, area from what I was reading. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, look, either way, I want to see this. It's going to be a lot of fun. They have a lot of good shit coming for the rest of the year as well. So there's going to be a lot of fun things to watch. And I think we're all going to be in for some pretty cool shit on Netflix in 2023. That being said, I definitely need to get to bed here pretty soon, because I'm starting to fade. But we have a couple things to watch real quick to get us to the end here. First, let me say, for the most part, just first and foremost, thank you guys so much. This has been a great conversation. It's always a lot of fun just to chit chat with you guys about stuff, because you guys have just awesome thoughts and opinions over a lot of different things. And we all get along, and you guys are here all the time, and we may not have the biggest audience, but we definitely have a great, dedicated audience of badass mofos, and I can always appreciate that. So here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to round up the night by watching the Warhammer 40K. I think it's like the end credit scene. This is from Command Unit. It's only a minute 30, so it's not that bad. And then afterward, we're going to do Mario Warfare Part 3. That is brought to us by HParts. That's sponsored by HParts. Did I miss member chats? Fuck, hold on. Let me go look at the member chats real quick. I want to make sure I got them right. Thank you for telling me. Benson. Did I miss another member chat or a super chat? I thought I got all the supers, dude. I'm sorry, man. There's been a lot coming in tonight. You guys have been really, really, really supportive. Let me just double check. I'm not seeing a member chat, Benson. I thought I answered. Did I miss one of your super chats? Did I miss one? I think I got all of them. So I'm not, if it came back a while ago, I'm not able to see it. So I'm just not able to see it. Oh, he had a member chat? Fuck me, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't see it, you guys. There's been a lot going on. The chat's moving pretty quick. So StreamYard didn't tell me. What was it? Just tell me what it is. You guys. He said, I sent it a bit, but I could have nodded off. Just what was it though? Just all you gotta do is tell me what it is, and I can answer it. I'm so sorry, guys. I wish StreamYard would fucking tell me. I really, really, really do. Let's see here. He was a 13-month IMAX member. Well, I appreciate that. I can't see it from where I'm at. If you guys can find it in the chat, let me know. All right. Well, here, find that. We'll watch this. Find that. We'll discuss that. I like the music though. Music's good. Oh, those. Oh, wow.
Identify yourself. I'm Commander Vishenka of the 9th Volistad Basilisks Regiment. I am Delgada of the Talan. Where are your troops? Awaiting reinforcements. The orcs captured what remained of our equipment after our battle at Malid. We have heard of this battle. You fought bravely. Join us. We shall help reunite you with your weapons. Orcs shall pay dearly for the insult.
What? I know he said that it was badly acted. He actually said that it was badly acted. But I literally have like no fucking idea what was even going on there. But thank you for that, command unit. I appreciate that. So before we dive into this one here, it was about Michael Jackson. No worries. Okay. I know you are a fan. I got your message on Instagram with the pictures you had sent. Let me see here. Can I open this in a new tab here? I'll show you guys this real quick. This is from Benson. He DM'd me this on Twitter, or on Insta. He had tickets to the concert. He's a big fan. So obviously, he would be, a knowledgeable person on that particular front. So, all right. Thank you for that, buddy. Really appreciate that. Okay. So this is the Mario stuff here. Are they supposed to look so primitive? Yeah, it came out in the 90s. Came out in the fucking 90s. Mo Moon asking, will Zach direct Moonfall 2 if Rebel Moon fails? No, we aren't going to see a Rebel Moon or a Moonfall 2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And then Moisture for 5, thank you, says, have you seen that Ant-Man 3 and Wakanda Forever are going to China? I did see that actually. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird that all of a sudden they've reversed their ban on Marvel movies randomly. And I have a feeling it has a lot to do with the success of Avatar. I think Avatar, it hasn't done like the greatest in China, but it's done okay. You know? Like hold on here. I want to look this up. Avatar to China box office. So far, it's let's see. Okay, Avatar 2 has done 190 million in China as of a week ago. So, you know, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So if it does $2.2 billion, which it may not do, I'm not too sure. We can offset 190 million off of that. And then discount out the whole comparison between that and Spider-Man No Way Home. But all right. I know. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm getting so fucking tired. Let's see here. Roman here says Rebel Moon's budget is between 81 and 90 million. Why so low? I thought Netflix gave him a $200 million budget. Well, I mean, he's shooting 2 movies back to back. So maybe that's where the budget is. You know, it's like, the budget, I forget the budget for like the, you know, because if you look at like the Lord of the Rings movies, and again, my brain is mush right now, so I could be wrong, but if I recall, like the budget for like Fellowship was like 150 million. The Two Towers was like 91 million, and then I forget what the Return of the King was, but like they shot them all together, so it's like they clearly put up the dough. So I'm not too sure. Benson here says China's population is declining in numbers. The country could be finished in 10 years due to the minuscule birth rate. Is that why they upped it? Well, I remember they upped it to like 3 kids per family. And then like, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. They're really pushing for people to have more sex, which is not a bad thing. I think we all can agree sex is great, right? We all like sex. It's a lot of fun. But all right, let's do this Mario Warfare thing so we can finish this thing up and I can go to bed. Because as much as I love you guys, me tired.
People of the Mushroom Kingdom, now you will all witness the fury of Bowser's army.
Your Majesty, we're completely surrounded.
My beautiful daughter, I need you to go with Toad now.
Get to the end of the pipe and keep going. Don't let anybody know who you are. Now go!
We fight to the end. For the kingdom.
Luigi! I can't feel my balls. I'm not leaving here without you.
Careful, Mario. This is Donkey Kong Country.
What's gonna happen to you?
Now go.
Where am I? Who's there?
Barrel to the face, bitch.
What was that?
You just got Konged. he's got attack vest.
Stay back!
Parkour.
He's gone.
I'm warning you!
Your guys' puns are great, by the way.
Forgive me, Your Majesty.
Forgive me, I pushed your shit in a little bit too hard. Next time, it will only be just the tip. Yeah!
My father told me tales of a legendary guerrilla fighter. I thought they were just bedtime stories.
Guerrilla fighter.
I would tell you another story. One from long ago. I was barely a silverback when King Rule's men attacked our village. Diddy and I were the only survivors. We were starving and exhausted when King Rule's men captured us. They made my son watch my execution.
Yo, who the fuck is that?
I will never forget that star.
My father?
Yes. At that time, he was just a prince. Yet he secretly entered my country to fight against Rule's army.
Your Majesty, we need to keep moving.
Cut him loose. Rule was forced to retreat. Your father was a great man. After that day, I dedicated my life to mastering the art of guerrilla warfare. I swore that no one would ever threaten my country again. I only wish I could have repaid my debt to your father.
It's not too late, DK. I am responsible for all he left behind. Teach me how to wage a war.
Mario, I gotta pee. Should I just go ahead?
Don't even think about it.
Mario, I'm hungry.
What do you want me to do about it, Luigi? Got no food? No coin?
We got a gun. Let's hunt some ducks. Mario, what is that? Who do you think's in there?
I don't know.
Looks like we have uninvited guests. Hand over the weapon.
Oh man, I just got that.
Move.
What are you guys living in your mom's basement?
Keep your mouth shut.
Captain, we found these two snooping around outside.
Think they're Bowser spies?
Bowser! We hate that guy.
My brother's telling the truth. Bowser's goons broke his legs.
And my balls!
So you guys are refugees, huh? Why didn't you say so? Welcome to the club. It's been a shortage of new blood around here lately. What's your name?
I'm just a plumber passing through. And the name's Mario.
Well, Mario, you're just in time. Everybody, gather around.
Mario, what's going on?
Welcome to Smash Club.
All right. That was good. That was really solid, you guys. That was really good. That was fucking great. That was great. So, like, I got a gun. Let's hunt some ducks. I heard a story about a gorilla fighter. Oh, man. Oh, that was solid. That was really good. That was really good. All right, guys. On that note, my ass is going to go to fucking bed. I need to get to sleep. But listen, thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. Really appreciate it. Always fun to chill with you guys. We'll be on again tomorrow night. We'll have ourselves a conversation. We're talking some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I think. Maybe check out some trailers. Maybe we should schedule a trailer park. How about that, guys? Or do you guys want to do a trailer park, or do you guys want to do an anime red pill? I don't know. Kind of curious. Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great night. Thank you again. Love you lots. Peace the fuck out.